And here's a detail that makes scientists think. These armored scales are not dead like our nails or hair. It is a living tissue that is constantly growing and impregnated with metal. The snail doesn't just wear armor. This is the shell. At the bottom of the Indian Ocean, in a world of monstrous pressure and poisonous fumes, there lives a creature that looks like it crawled right out of a fantasy novel. The snail is fragile, soft, and almost ridiculous on land, but here it has turned into something completely different. He built his armor, not from stone or calcium like ordinary shells, but from iron. It is a gastropod, scaly-legged mollusk, also known as an iron snail, a living paradox, a clam and a knight at the same time, a creature whose very body challenges what we thought biology was capable of. The iron snail was first described in 2001 in hydrothermal vents near the ridge of the Indian Ocean. These springs are like cracks in the ground, from which superheated water comes out, carrying with it a mixture of toxic chemicals and heavy metals. For most forms of life, this is death. But for gastropods with scaly legs, this is their home. Where humans would wear protective suits, this animal wears armor that it forged itself. The snail shell is not an ordinary spiral. It is three-layered, a true engineering masterpiece of nature. Outer layer, crystals of iron sulfide, the same material found in industrial ore deposits that gives the shell a black metallic sheen. Middle layer, a shock-absorbing protein cushion, similar to the padding under a soldier's armor. Inner layer, aragonite, a mineral form of calcium carbonate that gives elasticity from the inside. This multi-layered design is so effective that military researchers have studied it in search of inspiration for developing next-generation body armor. Imagine a snail influencing human protection technologies. But the shell is only half the story. His paw, a muscular pad on which snails crawl, is also armored. It is covered with black, iron-soaked scales that overlap each other like chain mail. These scales are unique in the animal kingdom. No other creature has them. Predators like crabs that dare to attack find themselves scratching at armor that simply shouldn't exist in biology. Imagine if your skin could grow overgrown with steel plates whenever danger is near. That's exactly what this snail does. Evolution didn't give her a weapon. It taught her how to forge one on her own. But the iron snail hides another secret. She doesn't eat like other creatures. It does not feed on algae and does not hunt worms. Instead, it contains symbiotic bacteria in a special gland in its body. These bacteria consume toxic hydrogen sulfide, the same deadly chemical that is released from air vents. In return, they provide the snail with food. Thus, the snail transferred digestion to invisible partners. She doesn't chew, she doesn't bite, she turns poison into life. A walking contradiction, clad in metal armor but feeding on ghosts. Some evidence suggests that this strategy may be ancient. Paleontologists have discovered traces of shelled mollusks in fossils dating back hundreds of millions of years, creatures that covered their bodies with minerals to survive. They have long disappeared, but the iron snail exists. Perhaps this is the last echo of a forgotten era, a living fossil crawling in the depths. However, despite all its strength, this living aquarium is so fragile that no predator could use it. It lives in only 3 known locations in the Indian Ocean. Tiny oases of life isolated by thousands of kilometers of barren seabed. And these very vents have now become the target of deep-sea mining companies in search of cobalt and rare metals. The iron snail, encased in steel, is facing its worst enemy, us. Her armor means nothing against the bulldozers of industry. The IUCN has already classified it as endangered. Think about the irony of fate. The only animal in the world whose body is forged of iron may disappear not by the will of nature, but because of human greed. Gastropods with scaly paws are a mystery. They are both fragile and invulnerable. They are both ancient and modern. It's both a monster and a miracle. And therein lies the truth. power is never absolute. The strongest armor cannot save a creature if the world around it collapses. Just like us, neither walls nor technology nor weapons make us immune to environmental destruction. As one philosopher once said, armor is useless without a purpose. Life gives the armor meaning. So the next time you think about the depths of the sea, don't imagine glowing jellyfish or giant squid. Remember that snail, slowly crawling in the abyss, dressed in armor forged from metal, a reminder that life changes the rules that we thought were indestructible. The iron snail is not just a curiosity. This is a lesson. Even the weakest creature, a snail, can become a tank if the world demands it, and even tanks are vulnerable if their battlefield is destroyed. Please support the channel if you want me to tell you more about these hidden wonders. Just as snails survive because of their bacteria, our channel survives because of you. With your support, I will continue to uncover the dark, strange, impossible secrets of the ocean.